Hi, how's it going? All right, hi. I'm Jonathan Sim with Coming Soon. Jennifer, it is so nice to meet you. Key, it is so nice to meet you again. I interviewed you back in 2022 for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Wow.
We spoke for 15 minutes. I've been so
Uh,
happy to see how far you've grown since then, especially in Hollywood, your big return. I'm so proud of you, man. It's been amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Dude, of course, I got the Temple of Doom poster. Just took this off my wall just for this occasion. Yeah, right.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, Jonathan.
Course, yeah, absolutely. So, congratulations to you both on Zootopia 2 and this amazing Disney movie. I'm wondering for you both, when you were growing up, what were the Disney movies that made you fall in love with Disney and want to work with them on this film, Zootopia 2?
Wait, I do. I'll talk very briefly because his story is way better.
Okay, okay,
Because
cool.
I know what your first Disney movie is that you saw. I grew up with all of the princess films. I always say that Winnie the Pooh was my first boyfriend because I watched Winnie the Pooh on repeat. But I truly don't think I missed a Disney film in theaters, whether it was a re-release of one of the, class from the archives. My parents would buy all the VHS tapes when they would come out of the vault. I remember there was a whole thing about them being in the vault. And I do remember going through a bit of a phase where I called animation cartoons. And I thought that I was too big girl for cartoons. And then I remember my sister came in with the VHS of because I hadn't seen The Little Mermaid in theaters. And she came in with that and she put it in and she left the room. My little sister at the time, she was like, I'm leaving you here. And I wept through it and I was like, there's like, I fell back in love with animation all over again, specifically
Yeah,
Disney.
I grew up watching Disney cartoons with my little brother on weekends. We would always watch it over breakfast. That's where we bonded and became really, best friends. But also I love, watching Disney animated films. Tarzan was a big one because I remember trying to do that scream as he swings, across the jungle.
Yeah.
And again, the list just goes on and on. Snow White, Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, all these I love. And I never think that I would ever one day get to be a Disney animated character
Oh.
and to be part of this incredible Zootopia family. So this is certainly a dream come true.
Well, it's amazing to get to see you as these characters. I'm going to update my background right now. Let's see, right there. There we go.
That's
Right? We
awesome.
have your characters right here. I love both of your characters here. I've loved Judy Hopps ever since I watched Utopia way back when I was like a teenager, and now I'm seeing the wonderful addition of Gary the Snake. And so I'm wondering when you guys are recording your voices in the booth, are you ever doing anything like physically with your bodies just in order to help assist at vocal performance?
Oh, we have to, because
Yeah.
every breath matters and sound is so affected by movement. So I actually find that I think I'm more, I don't think I know I'm more physically active in the booth than I am in live action, because in live action, I feel like everything has to be contained and like we have to add layers because cameras come unusually close, right? Like in live action, like the camera's closer than humans are usually in our, faces. So we have to adjust like proportionately based on like the size of a frame. And all we have in animation is our voice. So everything is also, I feel like, not pushed, but like everything's expressed, I'll say.
Yeah, it's actually more physically demanding than I anticipated. I'm kind of like a new
Yeah.
kid when it comes to voice acting, but the recording booth, let me give you a visual. It's like it has a microphone, something like this, and there's a stand where you put your script, and there's literally a handlebar that is bolted down into the concrete where to get some of the effects, you grab onto it and you just like move and shake and jump and pull just to get your voice a certain way. So, it really takes a lot of imagination because you're trying to mimic the way your character would move on screen. And at the end of those 3 hour sessions, I'm like covered in
Yeah,
sweat every single time.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. It sounds like a workout that you guys are getting right
for
here.
sure.
It was like going to the gym.
Yeah, you don't need the gym. You're voicing Gary the Snake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Now, I'm imagining that both of you get recognized a little bit when you go out. And so I'm wondering when children or adults go up to you, are there any lines of dialogues of yours that they like to sort of like repeat back to you?
Uh, that's the story of my life. For 40 years, the people that I meet, they would they would, quote all these. I mean, really, I mean, they're great lines that I got very lucky to say them. Whether it's Indiana Jones, something like "Hang on, lady, we're going for a ride," or we're setting booby traps.
Yeah. Right. Data.
It's a lot of those, but also it's what's really interesting. I started out as a child actor, and I thought I've grown, I've matured, my voice is different, but a lot of times it's my voice that gives it away. That they would hear it and they go, "Oh my gosh, you're the kid from Indiana Jones or the Goonies."
Yeah, that'll be even
So
more now.
yeah, so actually
Oh, absolutely.
it's a good thing because now here I am playing Gary the Snake in Zootopia. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Now they'll know you from Zootopia too as Gary the Snake. Yeah.
You get I'm sure you get recognized.
Do, but I've been surprised at how much I get recognized for Judy because I would have thought there'd be more of a separation, sort of like mentally for people.
Right.
Like partly because I feel like Disney, even though we're doing a lot of publicity to promote the film, like our names are never on the posters. When they're putting out those trailers, you don't see our names. Like, yes, social media is a whole other thing now, but that's one of the things I've always loved about Disney is they're not selling it on the actors, they're selling it on the stories.
Yeah.
And I've always
Absolutely.
found that to be like really confident
Right.
and impressive. So I've been surprised at how much I've gotten stopped for being Judy, and it's usually adults. And then they're trying to explain to their kids who look very confused when looking at me as, the kids are looking up at me like, but mom, she doesn't have rabbit ears.
Mm.
And then I find myself trying to overcompensate and like prove to these children that it's me by saying like anyone can be anything and all these things.
I don't know. I feel like children have a great ear. When I move into my current neighborhood,
Mhm.
my neighbor had at that time he was 4 years old, and one day they were out in the front yard, and I was there, and we've never met. We said hi to each other, uh, and the next day, the neighbor came to me and says, "My son told me that you're Data from the Goonies." And he was only 4 years old. And
Wild.
he's seen the movie only a couple of times, but he heard the voice and recognized right away. He says, That's Data."
That's
And
amazing.
I mean, this was like what a 35-year span, but he was able. So that's why I feel like a lot of kids that would hear you, they would go, "Mom, that's Judy Hopps."
It's my
Oh my
favorite thing
God.
to get recognized for.